All right, so it looks like we're going live. You don't see my screen yet. So let me share my screen so you can actually see what I'm seeing. We are going live, and this is the first thing that I see is myself on the stream. And I can hear myself, so I always need to pause or mute the video so that I don't hear myself twice. So hello, everybody. This is our behind the scenes look. It's our Tuesday Tech Talk behind the scenes of how I put together this little podcast, this little tutorial training, whatever you want to call it, each week. So I'm Clint Stevens. Good to see everybody here. Looks like most everyone has taken advantage of spring break or in the process of that. And I totally get that. I'd love to be able to do the same thing, but I took a little trip a few months ago, and so I'm paying for that now. So I'm just going to kind of talk you through my process, and hopefully, the reason why someone suggested this, and at first I thought, well, there's not much to share. I just put together some slides and do a Zoom meeting and record it, and that's not that much. But as I thought more about it, I really do. There are a lot of tips and tricks and time-saving tools that I've just gained over the years, and if I shed some light on those, and maybe one or two of those will help you save a second or a minute or whatever here and there, then that's time you've got back in your life for spring break and for other things that you can enjoy. So if you find some cool, if not, then well done for you. So I'll just kind of go through this. I'll go through and just do the presenter view until I need to show you what my slides actually look like. So what started, back in 2020 when the world shut down and we couldn't do the training that we normally used to do the way we used to do it. And so we thought, teachers are stressed, they're busy. So what can we do to give them some short, timely training or helps or things like that? And so we thought, well, 30 minutes isn't so bad. We'll record it on Tuesdays because we call it Tuesday Tech Talk. And then we'll post those videos for teachers to watch whenever it makes sense for them. And so I started off in Adobe Creative Cloud Express. Back then it was called Spark. But I just wanted to kind of come up with a logo and a theme. And, I found a background and a layout that worked for me. I customized it with our logo, with our colors. And I made, a URL for my Zoom link so that people wouldn't have to try to remember a long, complicated link. So I try to make it simple that way. And then it's kind of built from there. And so as we've gone on, each week, I start my Tuesday Tech Talk planning with, we kind of go ahead and figure out the schedule, at least for the month ahead. And we kind of, as topics come up, we kind of keep track of those on this little topic agenda. So we've got them all the way back. This is this year's. These are your suggestions and what we've gone through and what we've done. These are the topics we started back in September of 2020 with back in the day, back last year. And so we're here in April right now, episode 56. And so that's how I keep track of those things. But then each week I have a mailing list that I've set up in Google Contacts. I call it, actually it's set up in our domain. It's called ttt@sedck12.org. And everyone that's ever been or ever attended the session live, I've added their name to this email list. And so you guys get notified every week of what we're going to do. And then I copy some principals from around the region who said they were interested in what's going on. I copy the text from last week. I paste it in here. I update it for the week to come. And then I send it out that morning to remind you what we're going to talk about that day. And then on contact list from any Google, wherever you can find your grid waffle, click there, click on contacts, and then you can create a contact list. I'll show you that quickly on the next page. But I'm even going a little bit deeper as I was building this. I took a screenshot. And so what did I use for screenshots? I used just the regular Mac I think I have that. Did I have that on the last slide or this slide? I've got it on. I don't know where I have that, but I use the keyboard command and shift and 5 on my Mac keyboard, and I can take those screenshots. In Google Slides, I added in these shapes, and I can just kind of nudge them around with my keyboard. And let me get out of presentation mode here. So you can see, and I'm sure maybe you've done this before, that if I click right there, it wants me to do a big text box there. So if I click on that guy right there, if I just use the arrows, it kind of jumps around. And sometimes it doesn't go as precisely as I'd like it to. So if I hold down the shift key on my keyboard and then use my arrow keys, it'll just gently nudge it. And so that might be a little trick that you didn't know about. So you can arrange things, objects, pictures and things on your slide and get them exactly where you want those to go. I inserted an emoji. How do I do that? I come up here and I go to insert special characters. Actually, I need to be in somewhere there's text. Insert special characters. And then I get this little floating window and I can come down here and search for emojis. And I get a whole list of them there, or I can search by happy like that or grin. And I can find those texts to use in my slides. All right, so how do I build a contact list? See, I've kind of gone down a rabbit hole here, but I'll get out of it. I'll get back to my tech talk stuff here shortly. So let me go back to presenter view. And so I've done these in your contacts. Up in the top left, click create contact. I chose to create multiple, and you can just put in names, email addresses quickly, and then you can group them together by adding a label to them. And so it's kind of like a group. You just put a label on there, for first hour, second hour, or, parent 2021, 22 parents, whatever you want to do to group those together. And then you can send emails to folks in that label from Gmail. All right, so back to the Tech Talk stuff. Oh, here we go. So how do I get the screenshots? Like I said, on my Mac, I use Shift Command and 5 to bring up the built-in capture tool. It now has annotations tool as well. I can put in boxes, arrows, stuff like that. Before I just switched to using the Mac one, I used a tool called Snagit, a great little utility from TechSmith. And this will allow you to capture video, parts of the screen, all kinds of great stuff that you can then put text on top of, add pictures, and quickly, instantly share all those different places. So I can, it's a really powerful tool. I think this is 20, 30 bucks. There are some, there's a free trial. Oh, wow, it's come up in price. So $62.99. You can give it a try if you like it. If it's worth that to you and save you some time, go for it. I'm just using the built-in tool on my Mac. So, and the first screenshot, or actually the first step of each week, is instead of just recording this in Zoom and then waiting for that to come back, uploading that to YouTube, labeling all that stuff, I just click. I've connected my Zoom account with YouTube, and I will give a link here in my notes. I've got a link to how to set that up with YouTube live streaming straight from Zoom. So it records it for me, and all I have to do, and I'll show you this at the end, is just make a couple of updates, and it's ready to go for those folks watching it after the fact. So each week, you can see I have a lot of tabs that I need to put Tuesday Tech Talk on. And the thing about Chrome is the more tabs you have open, the more memory it uses and the slower Chrome gets. So it's a good idea that if you're not using some tabs, that you close them up. But it takes so much time to get those tabs just right. And I have multiple tabs across multiple desktops. So I really am a tab junkie. But this is a great extension for me. It's called OneTab. And what it does is I just click this. I can click the little extension button right here, and all these tabs that I have open, it'll collapse down to a single page. And then each Tuesday, I can just come back here, click Restore All, and that opens up all my tabs that I need for the week ahead. And it's got everything there ready for me. The biggest one is my templates. So instead of me creating a notes document every week, I'm creating a new slideshow each week. I took the time to set up a couple of templates that have the things that I need, and that I want to make sure that I remember to address. And then I just make a copy of this each week and then customize it for the week to come. So I do have a notes template here. And so here's the notes I had to chat. I always put in the link to the session slides. I have not done that yet for this week. Look at me, I don't have my session slides. So I need to get that from that first slide. I'll do that right now. So come here, copy this, come back to my notes, session slides, and it is HTTPS, actually it's HTTP// and then there's my slides for the week. There's nobody in the Zoom room meeting with me, so I don't have to share it with anybody there. Where am I at? So that's my notes. And then as I build my slides and I realize that I need to share some things, I add those links into the notes for this session. And you can see I've got quite a few. So there's Zoom, link to Adobe Creative Cloud Express, how to do the screenshot tool, where to go get TechSmith from, the one tab Chrome extension for you. And then I've got some other cool fun things coming up as we go. So there's the template for my notes. The next template that I have is for, and this is a kind of a side demo. I really like this cool feature. I had some really long links and they were kind of breaking the lines. And so I fixed that this week. And let me show you how I did that. So instead of being tied to paper, which most docs are, if I know that this document's never, ever going to be printed out, and I know it's just going to be online, I can switch its page setup to pageless, and it will allow me to take advantage of the width of my window. I can change the little background color if I want to as well. And then if it's not as wide as I want it to under view, I can go to text width and switch it from normal, which is the default. And then I can change that to medium or wide. And I've gone with wide for this one for the notes. So you can see on my notes for this week that it's nice and wide. I don't have any inches or anything up here in the margins because it's never going to be put on a piece of paper. So I am free from that restriction. So that's another tip. If that works for you, great. If not, let's go on to the next one. So I have a template for my slides each week. And so this is what that looks like. I've got my title slide with the topic, the date, the episode, my UEN short code, my QR code is kind of a placeholder there. And so I use a combination of tools to update this each week. And so I've put together a quick little screencast on that I will walk you through. The first thing I did want to talk about, though, is that where I got this template. I didn't build these slides. I didn't put these together. I have a great source for things like that called Slides Carnival. It is a completely free place to go get PowerPoint and Google Slides templates. They have holiday themed ones. They have different categories up here at the top. I went, I think, to Elegant. And then, this is the one I chose, Minimal Business. I think it had a different name when I started to use it, but this is the one that I am using right now. You say Clint, it doesn't look the same. You know, the background's the same, but the main colors are totally different. You can see the layouts are similar. So what you do is you click Google Slides here. It'll ask you if you want to make a copy of that. Eleanor, that's the old name. And then you can make a copy and then you own that copy. And then you can customize it to your heart's content. And so what I've done is I've adapted that minimal business style. And then, so how did I do the colors and everything like that? You can, and this is another tip that you may not be familiar with. You can edit the entire theme all at once, change the link color, change, whatever highlight colors, the backgrounds, anything like that. And so here's a quick little screencast that I'll walk you through on how to do that. So if I do want to change that, it's under slide And there's an option there called Edit Theme. And if you've ever looked at it, it may look a little scary. You might be a little intimidated. But that very top one is the master theme slide. And anything you change there will be changed all the way throughout. And so I can go to those different bullets and change the colors of those if I want to, from blue or red to whatever. Excuse me. But if I want to change the colors of everything, I come in here to the color drop down, and then there's my main text and accent colors. So that accent is a little pink. So I want to change that to orange to kind of go with the rest of my theme. I can change it there. And if I just keep on changing, it's saving those changes like a good Google Doc does as I go along. And then the link one, that's the big one. That's the one I didn't change till the very end. It used to be blue, but I changed it to that orange color that I've been using all the way throughout. So I changed that, close that little theme color there, and it will save that theme, make changes to everything. I can also apply it to all the different slides, or if there was a specific slide layout that I wanted to change, I go in there, slide, edit theme, and make those changes, and it changes the whole thing. And so I did that with my template slide deck, and now I've got those changes. And so that saved me tons and tons of time because I've used these 56 times. I've used these different slides. So that's a good time saving tip there too. Okay, moving on. So here's what I do with my opening slides. Let me start playing this, and I will kind of talk through the changes that I make there. So I changed the topic to the topic that we're going to have for this week. I'm going to speed this up just a little bit. We'll go to 1.5. And if you didn't know about that, to change the slide, the speed of those, I'm going to back up 5 seconds. Didn't do it for me. Let's see. Change that speed to 1.5. Okay, we're going to play that. There we go. And I think I can jump ahead. Nope, that's changing my slides. Doggone it. Normally you can use the arrow keys to jump ahead or back 5-10 seconds. Oh, this is the wrong. Okay, let me get on the right one. Apologies. Bear with me here. Let me get on the right video, change the speed of this, and then we're good to go. For the date, I use a tool called Text Expander, and I just type in DDATE, and it gives me the current date. The episode number, I go back to that topic agenda. It's 56. I found it there. So I go back to my slides and put in 56. So now to make the short codes, I share the slides first, go down there to change it from restricted to anyone with the link can view, copy the link. And then I use one from UEN. They don't share it with everybody, but it does require a password. I use a password management tool called 1Password. There's another option called LastPass, and I'll share the links with you at the end for there as well. But that'll give me that short code that I use to share out the URL. The QR code's a little bit different beast. I use another tool called TinyURL. It builds short URLs, but not quite as short as the UEN ones. But the nice thing about TinyURL is that it will also automatically generate QR codes for me. I try to remember to sign in to TinyURL, and that just so that it keeps track of all of the URLs that I've ever made. Paste in the presentation link, click that QR code, it downloads the QR code. And then I can just right click on that existing one, say replace image, upload from computer, and then just point it at the QR code I downloaded, open it, and it updates for the QR code for the week. So that's kind of the quick overview of how I update that title slide, change the slide so that anyone can view it. I make a short code so that people can type it in easily. If you're a QR code person, quickly can create a QR code for that and let folks get to it that way. So I use, again, some different tools. I use my text expander to expand long or short. I use this quite a bit, and I'll share some other links on different ones that'll work in. I use some Mac specific ones, but I've got some links for some alternatives, and then some URL shorteners to help me out with those items. All right, so the next one. So in my slides, I have 5 standard things I want to address. Every one, I want to state the why. Teachers really need to know why we're teaching them something, and so I put that up front. I put an overview of the tool or topic. I remind myself to say what's needed, but be brief. A demo, I always want to include a demo if I can do some hands-on with you. I prefer that. And then a wrap-up slide where I share some links and resources, and then a time for questions and answers. This logo I change every week. I've got a standing one there. I use a canvas one, but then I can just come in and find one either. And this is kind of a cool trick too. If I go to insert image, if I search the web, if I put in a clapboard clip art, that's a clapboard in movie terms. And so this is the one that I used. I just click that, insert. So I don't have to go out and find an image, copy, paste it, do whatever that. I just can bring it in from that search. And then from there, I just copy and paste into the other slides, which is kind of quick. So let me go through those quick template slides. So again, I state the why, I put some details in there. I say what I need, but be brief. Give it a demo. Let's try. Resources, links to share. And then I always have a slide for questions. And that's there. But I did add in one more slide to show you what I'm seeing. I've got my iMac here. Normally I'm using that second screen for my notes and things like that. I do have a nice ring light to give me this nice golden glow that you're seeing. And then I've got a couple different webcams that I can choose from. So that's my view. And since there's nobody here and with me, there won't be any questions. But if you do have questions, please feel free to I'll share my email address on one of these end slides. And then, I do a couple of promotional things each week. I share the schedule for the month to come. Again, I use Google Creative Cloud Express to just update that graphic for the text for each month. I always share what's coming on with Utah Ed Chat. That's on Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Tomorrow's topic is the final stretch, I'm guessing the end of the school year, with Dave Ferran from Alpine School District. He's a USET board member, great guy, highly recommend joining in with that. Promote a podcast, either the UEN Homeroom or the USET podcast. And then I make sure to share the role and post the recording on my YouTube archive. And again, I made a short link for that because it's a long, weird address to do that. And so this is how I handle the roll call and the archive, and I'm running out of time. So this is my YouTube channel. This is all my live content. I've also got uploaded content, but anything I do live to YouTube with Zoom comes in here. I just come in each week once I stop the video, edit the title if I need to, add in my thumbnail, drop the playlist, put it on the Tuesday Tech Talk playlist. If it meets any other of my playlists, I put it there as well. I come down in here and say, yes, it's made for kids. There's a couple other things I need to change. I copy the URL for that to go into my notes. And then I save my changes there in the video. This next tab over is my, there it is my YouTube playlist. And I've got it set so the newest recording always goes to the top so that you can just jump in there if you've missed it and see the latest one. My role is just a simple Google form. I've asked those basic questions there. And then that feeds a spreadsheet where I can collect all of your names, email addresses, cactus IDs, and things like that. And I won't show any further because I've got your cactus IDs and I don't know how private those need to be. But on those ever attended, I keep track of anyone who's ever attended the Tech Talks. And then as well, I make a copy of each week and put the date and the topic on there so I can just keep track of who has joined each week. So that's it. Hope to see you next week. Again, there's some other cool slides that are included in this template, some clip art I can use, emojis, all the different types of slides I can use, and it goes on and on and on. But anyway, I will stop my share. I will say thanks for watching.